EU Parliament's mini-plenary of this week discussed, among others, the need to prevent from radicalization as it emerged after the recent terrorist attacks. To this episode, Mr. Costas Chrysogonos, a member of the European Parliament registered with a confederate group of European United Left and a member of the Committee on Civil Liberties, discusses with us the issue further. Welcome to Actua TV, welcome to Your Europe. The aftermath of the recent terrorist attacks in the city of Brussels revealed on the one hand a fragmented side of Belgian society since radicalization popped up, but on the other a greater solidarity as the rally March Against Terrorism showed. Both sides are in the spotlight and both are posing a dilemma that grew worrisome governments across Europe. Have the attacks divided or united our societies? In front of this, the mini-plenary of the European Parliament discussed ways to prevent radicalization. An initiative arose from the discussions in the Civil Liberties Committee, which were also followed by Belgian Minister of Interior Jan Jambon and Minister of Justice Koen Geens. What concerns Parliament the most is to prevent radical beliefs, meaning to prevent the rise of Islamophobia. Mr. Chrysogonos, welcome.
Thank you for the invitation.
Well, to begin with, which are the main points discussed in the mini-plenary held here in Brussels as it concerns Parliament's effort to prevent from radicalization?
Well, there is an ongoing discussion concerning attacks on schools and hospitals by jihadists, which are, of course, a violation of international humanitarian law. And there is a hope, a unanimous conviction of those practices by MEPs from every side of the plenary. But of course, this is not a problem which can be solved only by the European Parliament or mainly by the European Parliament. The European governments must act decisively in a way that will help prevent future wars in the Middle East and beyond, and in a way which will help economic growth abroad, especially in the third world, and better living conditions for people living in somewhat, so to say, segregated areas within the Union, which have proven to be a source of radicalization, like the Molenbeek area in Brussels. We've got to do more in order to incorporate people within our societies, and this means giving economic incentives as well as taking other preventive measures.
How Parliament tries to incorporate, as you said, those people in European societies, because recently we saw two phenomena. We saw on the one side a fragmented side of Belgium after the attacks, but in the same time we saw greater solidarity, for example, if taken into account the rally March Against Terrorism. So we have both sides, and you said something about incorporating those groups of people in our societies. How Parliament tries to incorporate those people?
Well, for example, we have recently approved 100 million euros for help for the refugees, humanitarian help, which was not foreseen in the budget. This is an ad hoc revision of the EU budget. And I'm confident that any other initiative taken by the Commission or by the European governments will be approved and will have a very positive reception from the European Parliament.
Legislatively speaking, because you're a member in the Committee of civil liberties, and you also have the background. I would like to ask how we can take into account factors that will protect ordinary Muslims before it's too late.
This is a very important issue. We must really make our best to make it clear to everybody that it's not a clash of civilizations. It's not the Christianity against Islam. It would be a very grave mistake to pose or to portray all the Muslim world, which numbers perhaps 1/5 of humankind, as our enemy. This is not the case. This is only a problem of a few fanatics who are obviously misinterpreting the message of Islamist religion and who must be put apart, so to say, from all of the other Muslim world. But in order to do this, we don't need crusades or bombardments which will target civilians as well as jihadists. We need selective action, and we need to focus on the real causes of radicalization, which are impoverishment and wars, which the West have helped to initiate. For example, through the coalition of the willing, which intervened in Iraq in 2003. And we all know that Iraq is the source of evil. I mean, the radicalization of the Sunni population in Iraq has created the Islamic State. So we must take another approach. We cannot impose our way of governance in the Muslim world or wherever else in the third world. We must respect other countries and other people, and we must try to help in any way we can, but without arms, without bombs.
Well, I have to sincerely thank you.
Thank you very much.
Actua TV. Het hele verhaal.